All right, welcome to the Vertical Podcast, where today we'll be sharing stories of our testimony about transformation and hope and the incredible power of faith. And I'm your host, Jared Morphew, and as always, sitting across from me is the man who goes by the name of Bobby Cooper.
Hello, how y'all doing?
All right, and we want to take you on a deep personal journey of our own testimonies about how Jesus transformed and changed our lives. But there was a time, and I'll just speak of me personally before we open everything up, when I felt lost, overwhelmed, and I felt trapped in this cycle of, and honestly, it gotten to a point of despair where I had struggled with anger, alcohol addiction, anxiety. It's all A's, anger, alcohol, anxiety. I didn't realize that, but yes, it was all those things. And then amongst other things, and it felt like there was no way out of that.
Right.
But in the middle of my darkest hour, I encountered a love that changed everything. And it's a way that God uses his own people to reach people. And at the end of this, I want us to see that we are those people to go out and reach those that are lost, like he used to reach me.
Absolutely.
But we'll talk about love that brings healing and redemption and a whole new purpose for our lives. But so in this episode, Bobby and I, we're going to be sharing the pivotal moments that led us to Christ, the challenges we faced along the way, and the profound impact that faith has had on our own lives. Whether you're seeking hope, wrestling with your own struggles, or simply curious about the transformative power of Jesus, I invite you to join us as we recount our stories of salvation and redemption. So grab a cup of coffee, find a comfortable spot, and let's dive into this journey together.
Absolutely.
Let's do this.
Let's go on it.
All right, so today we're going to be, like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about our own personal testimonies. What is a testimony? So a testimony is when you're sharing your testimony of faith, your testimony about Jesus has done in your life. It consists of, I like to break it down into three things. You can do it however you want to, but for me, it's easier if I break it down into three sections. That's what I do, like when I was back in college doing college work or in the Marine Corps or whatever. I like to break things up into sections. Even when I mow the yard, I'll break it up into sections.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't just take it all at one time. So I definitely break things down. And like the first section of my testimony will be about like how I grew up, my past, basically, what made me who I was or who I became. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's the past. And then the middle part is where Jesus enters the picture and changes your life. And the third part is about what he's doing now, like the present time. This is who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus came he was always there.
I was there, but yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I gave my life to Jesus.
Yep.
And then third part being, this is where I'm at now with it. And this is what I hope that's what's to come for the future. So that's kind of setting the tone for the episode. So I hope that it's helpful in sharing your own testimony, where you can see how you can break it up into sections. That's how it helps me.
Right.
So I'm not scatterbrained.
No, absolutely.
Where I start pulling future and then going to the past and going to the present. It's like one of those movies.
Yeah.
Where
those trip me out when you start doing that and you're watching it and you're like, and especially at the bottom, if they don't tell you that it jumped forward and then it jumped backwards.
Yes.
And so you're watching it and it starts flowing. And you're like, hang on, this makes zero sense.
Yes.
I like those movies, but I hate them at the same time because I really got to be focused and engaged in them.
You got to watch them several times too
to understand it.
Right.
Yes.
It's like, where is it at in the story?
Where are we at?
Sometimes I'm gonna sometimes I'll turn it off. I'm like, nope, this is for another day. I ain't in the mood for that right now.
I ain't in the mood to think like this. Yeah.
So this way of thinking keeps that from happening.
No, absolutely.
It's like reading a book that doesn't jump around in like this crazy time loop.
Mm-hmm.
So from start to finish, this is it. I'm a chronological thinker.
Yeah.
Like I like thinking about things in order.
Yeah.
Now I do like, I'm a big, what's that called?
prequel.
Not prelude. It's a prequel. I like those.
The prequels are good because you get that backstory.
Yes,
especially if you watch the movie, like the original movie, and then they come out with a prequel.
Yes,
and you're like, okay, cool, but you better go back and you better explain everything of what made the character where they were when we started watching.
Well, and it's like that's why they are the way they are. Yeah. That's why they're a villain. Yes. That's why this guy became a good guy. Mm-hmm. This is the place. That's why that place got destroyed. Like you have no idea. And it's just part of the movie. But the prequel explains everything in detail. But in those movies, it's all in order. Yeah. Like the main movie, it's in the chronological order. Right. The prequel, which happened before that, but it keeps everything in the order it should be in. Yes. So that's what I like. That's just me.
I like it.
So we're going to go ahead and dive in and share a little bit about our life before we encountered Jesus. And we're going to discuss stuff like our upbringing, our family background, and any other experiences that we may have had. And also like highlighting struggles during that time, whether that be like addiction, loneliness, depression, those type of things. And also how these struggles affected our relationships and our daily lives and things like that. So to start it off, I guess I'll go ahead and tell you mine. Okay. That leads me up to it, and then Bobby's going to share his with you guys. So with me, so I was born, and I won't be like an old man. I was born back. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But I was born here in DeQueen, Arkansas, when they had the hospital here in town. Right. And they had a maternity ward. So I was born here, raised in Gillum. And my parents, Christian parents, and I know everybody's story is different. Some people, they didn't grow up in a Christian home. Right. I did. I grew up in a very Christian, very well Christian-centered home, Christ-centered home. My brother and I both were. So I have a brother who's 2 years younger than me. When my mom was raising us up, we had memorized scripture and the King James because that's what most people had back then. Right. And I love it. Like, so when John 3:16 and all those, that's how, but now
it's very hard now with you and Josh when y'all start reading scripture in ESV. Yeah. And it's scripture that I learned because of Bible drills or something back in King James Version. Yeah. It takes my brain a little bit to flip over. Yes. Because my brain automatically goes to the King James that I remember.
I can be like quoting John 3:16, and I'll put it somewhere in my notes in the ESV version, because if I don't, I'll slip back into the KJV, and I've done it even when I'm preaching on Sunday morning. When I'm just going at it, it'll just come right out. I'm like, okay, well, everybody else, because our church uses ESV. Well, that's our pew Bibles, anyways. Right. Yeah. And that's what Josh and I use. And it's not saying that KJV is wrong. That's great. I love KJV. Absolutely. Yeah. But anyway, so that's how I memorized it. We learned Proverbs 3:5-6, John 3:16, all these about just the good scriptures that can help you to lead somebody to Christ, and also like Proverbs 3:5-6, where it talks about not leaning to your own understanding, but acknowledge the Lord in all your ways, and He'll make your path straight. So it's like things like that can prepare you for life. And it's just, I don't know, same things I've been teaching my kids. So that's the kind of atmosphere we grew up in. I was a pretty straight-edge kid, and I got to be a teenager. I fell into things that teenagers fall into, just stupid stuff. Absolutely. Like sneaking around, smoking cigarettes when I could, not telling anybody, and then mom would smell it on me, and I'd get in big trouble.
Oh, absolutely.
Realize that's not smart. Yeah. But just the normal stuff. I wasn't perfect, but I wasn't bad. I was just your normal, typical teenager. Yeah. For the most part, I did pretty well, pretty straight-edged, and I graduated high school at 18, and when I got out, that's when the party scene started slipping in. Okay. So I got my background. My parents both good Christian men and women. My brother really well into he was really good in high school and really good in the early college years, and so it was a really good foundation. Right. And so when I start talking about that middle section, that's where I'm going to spend most of my time. Oh, yeah. Because the teeing up part, it's typical. It's nothing crazy. And for some people, that's their testimony. Right. Because everybody's is different. Oh, absolutely. I know guys where they've had horrible childhoods and talking about
all that adversity. Yes. And
like when they would go to VBS where their parents would dump them off, and they love being in that atmosphere. Yeah. Because it's loving. They're learning scripture, and then they go back to, lack of a better word,
a chaotic home.
Yes, a chaotic home, right. Where Jesus is rarely, if ever, mentioned.
Right.
So when they get older, they'll tend to go back to church, and they want to be in that atmosphere because it felt safe. So they'll have a testimony and they can tell stories about their childhood and all that. Mine's typical, nothing crazy, which I'm so thankful for. Man, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful God put my parents in my life. I can't thank him enough every day that I had not only parents that were good parents, but they provided for me. I was safe with them. I never felt like I was in any danger. If anything, that's where I went when there was danger.
Right.
Because they were my safe place. And they were also very wise, still are to this day. I sent my mom a text on Sunday because I'm going through a devotional in the book of James, and it was talking about wisdom, and it was talking about you need to thank the people that's imparted wisdom into your life. And I don't know, it just stuck with me. So I texted my mom that morning and just thanked her for it.
Yeah.
But so I'm just kind of setting up that background. That's what I'm coming from.
No, absolutely.
Which makes no sense as to why the middle part of my life turned out the way it did. But it did.
And it's funny because everything that you just talked about is pretty much everything I'm about to talk about. And so how both of us had that foundation and how we went so far off the path.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't understand it. But I mean, I'm sure you probably did it. Wednesday services, Sunday morning, Sunday nights and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's kind of my upbringing right there. My parents, are good, godly people. We grew up I was born and raised up in Dumas, Texas. And my parents were heavily involved in the church when I was growing up. They would teach, I think it was third grade Sunday school classes, and then, just heavily involved in all that stuff. So we were going to church, my sister and I, all the time. Wednesday nights, Sunday mornings, Sunday nights. We both were heavily involved in the youth group. We did all the children programs and everything in the children stuff. And so for us back in Texas, we had a thing on Wednesday nights. I don't know if the kids have it now, but we had Royal Ambassadors or RAs.
I have heard that, yeah.
And so that's what we would go to before we got to the youth. We would go to RAs.
Gotcha.
And I had two really good men. One of them has passed away now, unfortunately, but both those two men were very instrumental, along with my dad, of being able to show what good, godly Christian men are and what they do. And both of them helped lead me to Christ when I was in elementary school, and then continued, doing everything through the church and get to high school and heavily involved in our youth group. We had started a drama club called Freedom Proclamation that we started my junior year. And my senior year, I was one of the leaders of that group. So we'd go to different churches and put on different dramas and skits that were all godly-based dramas, and heavily involved in the choir that we had and the youth group. We'd go on mission trips. So, I mean, I had a couple of hiccups here and there, but nothing crazy. I was always heavily involved in the church to where I was speaking in front of the church. I was leading things in the church. And so I'd never really had that stumble or that hatred for God or, that crazy moment that you were just talking about a lot of kids. And I never had that growing up. I was always on the straight and narrow, and everything was going good. So the first part of my chapter of my life was a very good, well-rounded foundation. Yeah. And so it's very weird, and I know it was a struggle for my parents to see where I was at, where I went that we're about to talk about, and then, to see where I am now. But I mean, that when they saw me go off the rabbit hole, it was hard for them to contemplate or fathom how I'd even get there, right? Based off everything I had growing up.
So with me and you, that foundation's laid. Yes, that firm foundation. Parents that are doing what they know to be the right thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're doing it not because they feel like they have to, but they really want to. No, they want what's best for you. Yep. And it's kind of like when you get your vaccinations when you're a little kid, and you don't have to have them, but it's for your own good.
It's for your own good.
And it's going to hurt but they love you, so they're going to do it. So it's like, I don't want to go to Sunday school. You're going. It's for your own good. Oh, you don't want to go, but you go and you learn all the stories. Yep. Go ahead, man. You're going to say something.
Well, and I was going to say, just kind of like last week when you were talking about discipline, is love. That's what it was. I mean, they instilled discipline in us.
Yes.
So we knew right from wrong. We were held accountable for our actions. Mm-hmm. And you know, they did discipline us.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people today don't have discipline.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
We had the discipline because they loved us, and so they instilled the discipline in us.
And nowadays, discipline looks in the way that I feel this way, and I could be wrong because feelings are fickle, but I feel like the world, when it comes to discipline, it's mean, it's mean-hearted, it's mean-spirited, and it's not. It's true love.
True love.
I mean, if it's from a loving place, it really is for a great cause. It's because they actually love you. Now, can discipline be harsh? Yes. But I think it's kind of like in the military. They train you and they discipline you, so when you're in an actual bad situation, you default to doing the right thing.
Yes.
Instead of panicking and having a meltdown.
Because it becomes second nature.
Yes.
Yes.
You went through that discipline. They disciplined your body. They disciplined your mind.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I love that we both had parents where we grew up in a structured home, discipline, godly atmosphere, not perfect, but did the best they knew how.
Right. Absolutely.
And same with me. I mean, I'm not perfect with my family and by any way, shape or form, but I'm trying. I do it to the best of my knowledge. Do I slip up? Yes. Did my parents slip up? Yes. But on the whole, on the average, they were doing the best that they still are. And I think that's all we can do. It's that slowly being perfected, sanctification. So that's the first part, which was quick, but it's because, but luckily, thank the Lord, it was quick. I'm glad that part of my testimony is
oh, absolutely
pretty fast.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'd love for my whole testimony to be fast, to be honest with you. It's like I had great parents and I just didn't have it in. And by the way, this is not true, what I'm about to say.
Right.
I just had it in me to never stray, and I surrendered my life at 17 years old, and I've been in ministry ever since, and I've just been so blessed, and my family, my kids are perfect angels, and my wife is she's just there for anything I have, and I thank the Lord for that. Man, what I wouldn't give for that testimony.
Oh, man, that'd be a beautiful testimony.
That's what I'm talking about. I would trade anybody in a heartbeat for that one. I mean, because that's not saying, because misery is not a quality or a virtue. No. You know what I mean? Like, just because I went through something, don't think that I'm putting it up on a pedestal like my testimony is way deeper than yours.
And it's better than yours.
It's better than yours.
Because I went through this.
Right. Yeah. It's not like there's some competing of who had the worst background, who had the worst experience before Jesus redeemed them. Because Jesus' redemption is the same for everybody.
Everybody.
Because guess what? That guy that had a pretty good go of it, they're people that are atheists that have a pretty easy go of it. You look at them and say they're blessed, even if they don't say Jesus is Lord. Like they just have a good life in general. Like they don't get sick. Their kids are good kids. Everything's going great. And if they don't accept Jesus,
and if you didn't know,
that's not going to be good.
If you didn't know any better, you would think that those people were Christians.
Yes, I have ran into people like that before.
I mean, you have good friends. I have good friends, from the military that for the longest time I thought they were Christians because of the way they acted and the way that they were and how good they were, how good their kids were and all that. And it's not until you get deep down into that conversation that you realize you're like, oh, wait, what? Like
you
don't believe in Jesus?
I remember there's a guy, I'm not going to say his name just because he listens to this every now and then. But anyways, I've knew him for 4 years in the military and he never drank a single drop of alcohol, never smoked a cigarette, cuss sometimes here and there, but nothing terrible. I mean, especially for Marine Corps standards, it's a saint in that area.
Right.
Just a good guy, gives a shirt off his back, give you a ride when you needed one. If you're stuck out in town, he'd come and pick you up. And he meant it, like truly a good guy for about 2.5 years-ish. And we're in Iraq, we're standing post together. And we just, one of these deep conversations, because I hadn't really spent a whole lot of quality time with him. Yeah. And this is that 4-hour period where anything and everything comes up.
Oh, absolutely.
You have nothing else better to talk about.
Yeah. When you're in those moments, I mean, everything's on the table and we're going deep diving down things.
Yeah. So we're talking about things and I start telling him about where I used to go to church and when I was a kid. And anyways, when I was talking to him, he said, yeah, you believe in that? I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah. And he said, when you pray, good luck with that. And I said, you don't believe in God? And he goes, no. Like I was stupid.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I thought, wait, what?
Yeah.
And but he wasn't being mean about it. He was just like, me and him like to joke.
Right.
And that was that, in that joking spirit. Like, okay.
Okay,
right.
good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Yeah, I want to pray for that today. And pray for $1 million for me while you're at it. Like he was just being, I said, really though? You're like, for real? And he's like, yeah, I'm serious. So I thought, man, I didn't know that. So, and
it kind of throws you for a loop when you
find
that.
But we're still cool. We still hang out.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I mean, I don't try to make him feel stupid or anything, but I hope if he listens to this podcast that maybe this might make him change his mind, which if he's been listening, hopefully the other ones have already changed
Hopefully, yeah.
But he did put something a long time ago. It was like 3 years ago when I was doing some things, putting it on YouTube, going through a Tony Evans study. He started liking all of it, and then he put something on there about how he was enjoying it, and I thought, there we go. Maybe he's starting to come around. And I didn't know it.
Planting those seeds.
Yeah, right?
That's all you got to keep doing is keep planting those seeds.
So that part of it, like I said, so glad it's a fast. I wish my whole testimony was quick.
Yeah.
But it's not, and the last part of it's not, but in a good way. The middle part of it's not in a bad way.
Yeah.
And that's where we're turning the corner now, is that middle section about, okay, so we're out of high school.
Yep.
And so where it picks up with me, I graduate high school. What happened right after I got out of high school? I went up to Rogers, Arkansas, and actually I went to Arkansas Tech. I got a technical degree in body shop collision repair because I thought I want to fix cars for a living. I wished I would have done that. Nothing wrong for the people who do that. It's just not my thing.
And it's funny. You don't realize things are not your niche until you go and do it, and you're like, ooh, nope. That one's not for me.
I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked doing it when I could take my time, do it on my own pace.
Yeah.
But I went to Mako's. It's like this. It's almost like an assembly line where it's not one guy does it start to finish. This guy preps it. This guy primes it. This guy paints it. Yeah. It's all, each guy does a certain thing, and it just goes through there really fast.
Yeah.
And I primed it. Like I was the guy that prepped it for paint. And after about 6 months or so, 8 months, I mean, hated it.
You're like, can I
do anything else other than this? So I go back home. I went back to work for my dad and the family business. And one thing led to another. And I ended up working for another company right before I got in the Marine Corps. So I'm 22 at this time. So let's fast forward. I'm 22 years old. So from the time I'm 18, I graduate high school. I haven't lived with my parents since. Like I got out, see you later. Moved 3.5 hours north, and then moved back home, but not in my mom and dad's house.
Right.
Living on my own in DeQueen. Anyways, so for that 18 to 22 year span, I start partying a little bit. I don't go to church very often. I start doing the things of the world, like going just drinking here and there. And I'm not going to say it's a bad crowd because they cared about you, and they're good friends.
Right.
It's just we didn't make good decisions.
Right.
And I wasn't any better. I was making the same decisions they were making. I was doing the same things they were doing. And I know their parents went to church. They went to church with their parents growing up. Mm-hmm. It's like we were all kind of the same fabric, made from the same, cut from the same cloth. Like all parents went to church. We all got baptized with them. And then after high school, we all start hanging out, start partying together.
Yeah.
And our parents hate it, pray for us, and just beg us to stop doing the things we're doing. Right. It's not that bad. Come on. Like we're not doing anything crazy. Right. We're not driving anywhere while we're doing any of this.
Yeah.
And I get it. And I'm older. I think, what an idiot.
Yeah.
I was so
what was
stupid.
I thinking?
So stupid.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an issue. Like I wasn't addicted to anything. It was just that casual party with your friends, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's still not good. I'm not
condemning it. I mean, you're not
condoning it.
Condoning it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not condoning it. It's still bad. It's still a sin. Sin is a sin is a sin.
Right.
But it hadn't made that point, but that's just it. That's how I feel like Satan gets us into that.
That's how it starts you.
Slowly gets you in there. It's just a little bit here, a little bit there. Because if I would immediately felt like I did 5-6 years later, like in that moment, I'm like, oh, this is awful. Well, who wants this?
Yeah.
And it's over that fast.
Right.
So I tippy-toed in it. 22 years old, one of my best friends, he joined the Marine Corps, and he went through boot camp, did some stuff, got in the fleet, and he came back for I think it was like the leave you get after you graduate boot camp.
Oh yeah, you get the recruiter assistance
program,
where you get to come back and talk to your friends and be like, hey, come join the Corps.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it worked because, and I could tell he wasn't promoting it for them. He just enjoyed it. Like, he liked being out in California.
Right.
And his pitch to me was, man, you can see the world. California's awesome, because I hadn't been very many places. I've just been in Arkansas. Now, my parents, yes, we went to Florida. We went to, where else did we go? Anyways, my parents took me on vacations, but I was a little kid.
Right.
It's different when you're exploring it as a young man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's freedom time, baby. It's time to go.
Yeah, because on all those vacations your parents take you on, you're seeing things, but you're doing all the good things that your parents want you to do.
Yes.
You're not going out and doing all the crazy partying at all the different cities and towns that you go.
And mind you, this is like 5-6 years after 9/11.
Okay.
So it's fresh. Yep. Not fresh, but we're still in the throes of it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's still going down.
Yeah. The two wars are already going and yeah.
So it's still popping in the Middle East. That patriotism is still in everybody's hearts. People still have the American flag on their window flying by.
Oh, yeah.
All that good stuff. Yeah. People that were alive at that time remember this. So that feeling that you had, that only people that experienced it who were like in their teenage years and older experienced it, like when the nation came together.
Oh, man, it was so beautiful. You go back and you look at that time where there was no Democrat, Republican. There was no, I don't like this person. I don't like this person. Like, it was, we are Americans. We are one. And it was that patriotism, that pride.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a beautiful thing to see.
And I hate that it took that for it to bring everybody together. Yes. I hate that it took that.
Right.
But that just shows you the heart of our nation. When you hit us and you hit us good, it's not like we're all going to melt and go to our own places and hide in our bunkers.
Right. We're not going to fall apart like everyone thinks.
It's like an anthill. When you knock the tip of it, we're all coming out. We're ready to start swinging. Like what just happened?
Yeah.
You just woke up a giant's what happened.
Oh, right.
Yeah. We're not going to roll over and crawl in a hole. That's not going to happen. Well, I think the world's seen that when they tested it out, and it's been a while. I think they're starting to push buttons again.
They are.
Different podcast. So anyways, that's the time when I was really interested in it. So I had that, I'm young, man. I'm patriotic. I want to do something for my country. Right. I like the freedom. I like the idea of California. My mom and dad, honestly, they straight up asked me not to go. Like, don't do it, because once the military has you, there's nothing we can do. You belong to them. But once I got in it, they were all about it. They were behind me. I think they were just nervous, like.
Well, it's the same feeling that every parent has, that they no longer have, not necessarily control, but they can't protect you.
Yes, that's it.
The way that they always could protect you. Even if you're off at college, they can still protect you.
Yes.
When you're in the military, you can't protect them.
You belong to the military.
You belong to the government.
Yes, you do.
And until that contract is expired, you belong to the government. And wherever they decide to send you is where you're going to go. And that's the hardest part for parents to process.
Yeah.
That they don't have a say in where you're going, and that they can't protect you.
Absolutely. And I think that was because, like I said, once I graduated boot camp, they were there, man. They were in San Diego.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Proud.
Yeah.
I mean, just excited. It was exciting times.
Oh, absolutely.
But before I left, it was scary times. And I was scared, man. I remember going to boot camp the night before boot camp. I thought I had caught a virus, like a 24-hour virus. I think it was just my nerves.
Just the nerves.
I was just sick. And then we touched down in San Diego, and it was dark. They make us get on a bus, put our heads down. They're screaming at us. Then we get to Camp Pendleton. They're screaming at us to get off the bus, and it's just...
The bus ride is probably one of the funniest moments that I remember.
It was. I was scared, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't say it very often. Like, I was scared. I was scared. I don't. My adrenaline was pumping. I'll put it that way. Like,
I mean, because everything you see in the movies, you take that and you multiply it by 100.
Well, it's like a war zone. Like, you watch a war in a movie, and it might get you like, oh no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But if you're in it, it's a totally different ball game. It's like, these ain't the movie. You're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, I'm not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy.
Yeah. So that's like boot camp. When you see it on the movies, it's like, oh, man, that's pretty crazy. No, you need to live it. It's even wilder because your adrenaline's pumping, you're sweating. And I got there in October, so it wasn't hot. And we were just, Anyways, I get out, I do boot camp, and mom and dad, they come back, and it was. So this is where the military kicks in. So I've gotten kind of away from church. I get to the military, graduate boot camp, I live out in California for 4 years. I live in 29 Palms, California is where I end up getting stationed. Now, 29 Palms, California, for you that don't know where it's at on a map, it's about 2 or 3 hours from the Mojave Desert. So it's basically in the same desert.
It's in the desert.
It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's like 3 hours from Vegas, 3.5 hours from about 3.5 hours from Huntington Beach, about 2.5, 3 hours from LA. It's like in the middle of all these big places, but out in the middle of the high desert, like out in the middle of nowhere by itself. I mean, it's crazy isolated.
There is nothing out at 29 Palms.
No, people that get stationed there, they're like, no.
Yeah, there is absolutely nothing at 29 Palms.
But the crazy thing is, after I was there for about a year or two, that was home.
Yeah,
I was a desert dog. Like that's what I was used to. Mm-hmm. When I go home on leave for more than a week or two, I was ready to go back. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah,
because I missed it. I was like, all right, I'm ready to be around my family, my other family,
to be back around the boys again.
Yes, out there where all my stuff's at. I was used to the desert's climate. Like that was home.
Well, especially going from the desert to here, where you got all the humidity.
There's trees everywhere. You can't see more than 100 yards. There, it's miles. You can see. I mean, when you're driving out to Vegas from there, you can look at a mountain, and you can just look at it for an hour, and it feels like you're not even getting any closer.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like this is taking forever to get somewhere. But anyways, so I live in 29 Palms, California, and so I've been kind of tapering away from church, and then when I get to the fleet, it pretty much just bottoms out. No more church. I didn't go to any church services while I was there, and the fighting and the drinking, all that, it cranked up to about a 10, and it was like, this is going to sound bad, but I'm just being transparent, I'm being honest.
Oh, absolutely.
It was fun. At
Felt
first,
good.
And they say that sin is fun for a season, or no one would do it.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
That's so true.
Because when you give into it initially, it is fun. Like you don't really see the consequences of it, and you just run with it. So we're getting in fights, and we're doing mixed martial arts stuff when we're getting training and things like that, and going to gun ranges.
And you also got to remember at this time, being 22, 23 years old.
Yes,
the way. It's a good thing and it could be a bad thing, but the way that the military trains you to think is you're invincible.
A very aggressive mindset.
Right. Like you are America's pit bulls, especially for the Corps. Like the Corps, like you are the pit bull that's on a leash and you're just waiting for the government to take you off the leash to let you go attack. Yes. And so that mindset of I'm the biggest, the baddest person on the planet.
Yes.
And
that's how you feel.
No, absolutely. And you feel like you are gods among men and you are invincible to everything.
Yes.
And that is the mentality that every one of you have. And so when you get all the alpha dogs together, you're going to have all of that just outpour flowing of emotions.
Yes.
And
you get alcohol mixed in the middle of it.
Yeah, you throw the booze in there. And that's the thing that civilians can't understand, the mentality that has been indoctrinated into you from everything that you went through.
And I love the military. I love military personnel. I love veterans. I got a heart for them. But the ones that have been in it, they're 100% going, yep. They're agreeing with everything I'm saying, with everything you're saying, because we were there. We know. I get it. I was there. I lived it.
We lived it, yeah.
And so for me to say it, I'm not bashing on any of it. I'm just saying this is how it was. And mind you, this was, 15 years ago. I don't know how it is now, but I don't know, 15 years ago, this is how it was. And the fighting, sometimes it wasn't even mean-spirited fighting. It was, that's my buddy, and we're being stupid, and we just get in a brawl, and next day we're best friends.
Oh, absolutely.
So that was the lifestyle. And I'm real quick on injuries. I've had a double hernia surgery, my shoulder surgery, where I was just talking to you about it. I'm about to have another one. Long head tendon on my bicep was torn, sewn back into my bone, labrum surgery, rotator cuff surgery, broken jaw in 2 places. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Yeah. That is a lifestyle that you can't maintain very long. No. But for 4 years I did. It was all out, physical, aggressive.
Yeah. We're going full throttle.
It was hammering down. No matter if you're doing it, you're going all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, everything all in all the time.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. I thank the Lord I'm still here. I survived all of it.
Yeah.
But up until Iraq, so Iraq was 2008 is when we left for Iraq. But up until that point, it was all great, fighting, we're going partying, we're doing just the crazy stuff, making memories and all this stuff that I later would regret and would give anything to take back and redo it all over again.
Right.
But I didn't see it in the moment. And I tell you right now, looking back, buddies are a dime a dozen. Man, you can have a billion drinking buddies, but you might only have one best friend or a circle that you can count on one hand.
One hand, yeah.
And those are the ones that you need to keep and just get rid of the rest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay to say hi and bye to them, but that's for another day, another podcast. We'll just talk about friends maybe next time. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, so everything's going great, like and great in my eyes, anyways.
Oh, absolutely.
And the devil's back there just applauding it.
Yeah.
You know, like it is great. Yeah, it is great. Like
he's like, yeah, I got another one.
And I know I was grieving the Holy Spirit. Like, what are you doing? And see, I was saved at 10 years old and baptized. And I tell my mom, we argue about this. And if she's listening to this episode, she knows I'm being honest. We'll argue about whether I was saved. And I says, Jared, you were saved, people backslide. And I said, Mom, I don't know. Like the way I lived, you can't. This is me. I could be wrong. I don't know how the God of the universe can live inside of you and you live like the devil for that long.
Right.
I just don't know how. And I get it. People mess up, but to the point where you just see you, God. Thank you. I got my hell-proof card in my back pocket. I'll see you when I die.
Yeah.
And that's the last I talk to God. Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Especially now that I've been in the Word and I'm in ministry for, I don't know, almost 4 years now. And I'm not saying that you can be saved and lose your salvation. I don't think you can lose your salvation. I'm a believer that once you're saved, you are saved.
Right.
You are His. You are sealed by the Holy Spirit for all eternity.
Right.
So I don't think I was ever saved to begin with because that was and they did great, giving me all the head knowledge, giving me all that Bible verse knowledge.
But did you have it in your heart?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I believe that you can have a lot of head knowledge, and I did, and which would come back to benefit me greatly later because that's part of my testimony.
Right,
we'll get there. We're getting there. So everything's great. I go to Iraq. I was there for 7 months, and it was the best of times and worst of times. That's the way I'll put it. So we get back, and when we got back from Iraq, it was May of 2009. So we was there in the winter time from October to May. Talk about cold. Desert cold is crazy cold.
And people won't understand that. They're like, oh, you're in Iraq. It's so hot. It is not. I'm telling you right now. It gets cold in the wintertime in Iraq.
It does. It's very cold. And the thing is, there's certain months, like when we were there around May, it'd get kind of warm in the daytime. It'd warm up.
It'd be warm.
Not super hot because it wasn't summer yet.
Right, but
as soon as that sun went down,
as soon as it starts creeping over the mountain, and it is freezing,
you feel it just dropping minute by minute.
Yes,
like, golly.
You better have your long johns and you better have your jacket ready to go because when you're out there at night, it gets cold.
You can go from shorts, flip flops to buffalo jacket and some boots when you go out to the bathroom at night. So I get back and here's something I don't tell a whole lot of people, and I usually get emotional when I talk about it, but I don't think I am now just because I can tell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just in one of those moods where I'm not really feeling emotional. So maybe it's God shielding me from it, not seeming like an idiot.
Not letting you get affected by it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd planned, when people get back from Iraq or any deployment for that matter, Afghanistan, wherever, when you come back from a combat deployment, I feel bad for Vietnam people. When they got back, they came into people just making fun, throwing stuff at them. They hated them. That's crazy.
I can't imagine walking in that environment, people hating you.
No, that's
doing something that your government told you to do.
Yes, and you're doing it, and
it's so sad.
It's so sad. Thankfully, it wasn't that way with you or I.
Right.
I mean, by the time we went through that, the Vietnam vets made sure that never happened again.
Yeah.
Like I remember,
we were welcomed home. That's for sure.
We were. I remember when we got back to I don't remember where we were, somewhere around Baker, California. Either way, we were coming back from San Diego, going back to 29 Palms after we landed on the plane, and we get in these big buses and we're headed back. And the guys I'm talking about, when you talk about a motorcade with motorcycles, it's all veterans.
Yep.
They went the entire 3.5 hours surrounding us. It was amazing. Like they met us somewhere and just went back with us.
Yeah.
And then we were coming into 29 Palms. We got into the town. The cops came in, flashing lights and all that. The bikers are there.
Get the whole parade escort.
They're coming in and it's dark. Like it's like 10 at night, right?
Yeah.
And I'll drum it up. I'm gonna keep going with it. So we're going and we know where our company ramp is. And before you get to go home, before you get with your family and go to the hotel rooms or go to your home on base, before the barracks or wherever you're going, before you're free to go, you got to turn in your weapons. You got to go by the armory.
You got to go by the armory, turn everything in.
Our armory, we pull in behind it, so we can, when we get out, we can hear all the family. We can't see them yet, but we can hear them, and they're cheering. Because they know we're there. They've heard everybody coming in. They can see the buses, and they can't see us yet because we pull in behind it. So we're turning off our weapons. We're doing it fast because we're ready.
Oh yeah, we're ready to go.
And even the staff sergeants, all of them, they're moving too. So that's cool. It's like, thank you. The officers are moving, so it's happening pretty quick for hundreds of guys to be able to start dumping out their stuff that quick. It's like, why can't we do that all the time?
Because they don't have the pressure to hurry up and go
7 months worth is that'll do it all right. So the cool part is we get all of our stuff turned in. They put us in formation, and we can barely see down the company ramp. We could see the big crowd of them down there, and it was getting kind of quiet down there. And then they did this where we did this like this raw thing, and then they'd yell, and then we'd do it. And when you got 300 guys yelling in one unit, it was so loud. It was like, woo, woo. You could hear us up there.
Yeah.
And then you hear that crowd, whoa, it gets so loud. Yeah. And then we'd do it again. The crowd get really loud again. I was like, it's goosebumps. It's awesome.
It's so cool to hear that, to see that too. Yeah.
And they tell us dismissed. We start walking down there, and here's the sick part about it. This is what I regret to this day, obviously, because I'm thinking about it now. A month before I came home, I told Mom and Dad, don't worry about it. Just save your money because it's a round-trip ticket. It's hundreds of dollars. We're going to be there for less than a week, and we're going post-deployment leave. I'm going to be home for a month. Yeah. I literally, a combat tour, we're home for almost 4 weeks.
Right.
At DQueen. I'm coming right back here. And inside, I wanted to go party when I got back.
Right.
I wanted to go out on the town.
We're about to go hit the bars. We're about to go do all these things.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I had planned out.
Right.
And it was going to be great in my head. And when I went down to the ramp where everybody's at, there wasn't a soul waiting on me. Not a soul. My brother and his roommate were supposed to be flying in and coming in. They got delayed. Their flight got delayed or something like that, so they weren't there.
Yeah.
So I didn't know nobody. And there was a handful of guys that was like me.
Yeah.
Some of them not because they were partying. They just didn't have family.
They didn't have family,
They just didn't have anybody. So there was about 5 of us. And we went out in town, went to the liquor store, went back to the barracks. And I'll just be honest with you, it sucked.
Yeah.
We just had a few, went to sleep, woke up, and that's it.
It's depressing.
It was so depressing. I was so excited to be back. And then the moment I just knew, I was like, what did I do? I'd give anything to go back.
Yeah.
Let my parents have that plane ticket. I mean, I've wasted so much money in my life. It's okay to spend a couple $100 on a plane ticket for that moment. And I've robbed them of that.
And that's the thing right there. The sad part is you regret it because you understand the loneliness that you felt getting to watch everybody else reconnect with their family. What we struggle with at times is not realizing the struggle and the joy that, like, we took the joy away from our parents for doing things like that, and the struggle that they have to live with of, I want to be here, but I'm going to honor you. You said you don't want me here, so I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stay over here because I'm going to honor your wishes, even though that's a struggle for me.
Yeah.
And so now you're putting that burden on them, and you rob them of that joy of getting to see the pride and joy of their son coming back from a deployment.
Yes, I did. And that's what hurts.
Yeah.
And I know it hurts them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I know when I tell a story like that right there.
Yeah.
But I leave out that part to the end. It's like, that's awesome. That sounds so great. And I tell them that part, like, what? Like they missed that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I miss them being there.
Yeah.
So it was terrible. And it was a bad decision. Everybody has done stuff. Everybody has a past. Everybody has regrets.
Yeah.
That's just some of mine.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
just some of my regrets. And some people say, Jared, that's nothing. And so some people are like, why would you do that? You're a terrible person.
Yeah.
Everybody's levels are different.
No, absolutely.
But I did. I messed up. And so I'm no different than the next guy. I messed up. And I knew it too. It wasn't like I was a hard head. Like, I'll see it when I get back. It's fine. I knew, man. Like it hit me hard.
Yeah.
And it messed me up.
Yeah.
And
then especially because the worst part is, as you're thinking in your head going into this, me and Jimmy and Joey and Tommy, we're all going to get together and we're going to go out and party. And we just spent the last 7 months together. Like, I know we're going to go hit these bars and we're going to go do this stuff. Well, I forgot to ask them. They all have family. They're going to go do stuff with their family. And now I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Like,
that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And I thought my brother and his roommate were going to be there, but they got delayed. So
right.
that was going to be the thing. Like, at least my family, some of my family.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
Not at all. It didn't happen at all. So I get home, and what was cool is they were so excited when I drove up. My parents picked me up at the airport, so that was at Dallas, DFW, and that was cool. Got to see them, give them big hugs, and we get to the house, and all my family's there to surprise me, like my grandparents, all my family, my extended family. They're there. We had a big supper and things like that, and then everybody left. Stayed home for 4 weeks, made horrible decisions. About a week or two into it, I got in a fight with my mom in the kitchen. I had that overseas mentality, where it's like the opposite of now. It's weird. It's like I just didn't have feelings.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't care. It's just I didn't care.
You didn't.
That sounds counterintuitive. Yes.
You're very jaded.
Yeah. She goes, "What's wrong with you?" And she said, she got so angry with me. And she said, I was a completely different person. We were in the kitchen. She said, "You used to be so loving." And I said, "Mom, what do you want? What do you want from me?" I remember I told her, I was like, if I would have been that guy over there, that can get you killed.
That would have died.
That could get somebody around me hurt. I'm just so, that's just, it just does things to you. And honestly, I don't think I'm that way anymore. Amanda says I can be kind of cold sometimes, but I think all men are to some extent, especially if you're around people that are sensitive. But the Marine Corps did do that to me a little bit. I'm still that way a little bit.
Yes.
But it was fresh when I got back. So, it wasn't like when I got back, it was this big celebration. Everything was great. The aftermath.
There's an adjustment period of coming back.
A big adjustment period that nobody really told. They did kind of tell it, but you just don't.
They don't. I mean, they try to talk about it, and the sad part is for you and I is back then, no one really talked about the adjustment period, the adjustment life of going from one day you're in combat to the next day you're at home. And how you're supposed to handle that transition.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they at least try to do a better job of it, and they try to have these little programs in place to, kind of do like a little mini pit stop before you go all the way to kind of like slowly adjust you back to civilian lifestyle. But back then, man, it was
you just on your own.
There was one day we're here, we get on the plane, next day we're back home, and here we are. We're back around, and you got to man up and do what you got to do.
Man up. It's like, what's your problem? You're yelling at your kids. Man up. Yeah, man. Stop yelling at them. You want me to yell at you too? No, sir. All right. Yeah. And that's it. Like it's just suck it up.
Yeah.
You think you got it bad? Imagine World War I guys. You're fine. Suck it up.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they're probably okay. And then So I get back. We go back to base. We get out of the deployment stuff. Well, then we go back to our normal Marine Corps stuff. So we went over as 0311, like we were attached to them. We were QRF, Quick Reaction Force, when we were there. So if something happened, we're the first ones there. Usually it was a lot of after it had already happened stuff. Like you get there and IED had blown up a few vehicles, and you get there and it's already over, and you just kind of assess everything. The OD team comes and clears it, and
you secure the site.
Secure it, It's basically stuff like that. And every now and then, like you might like an IED, we got hit by one. Just stuff, just all throughout the 7 months, things are happening.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I think being there after stuff had happened affected me more than anything that happened during. Because I remember stuff that in the moment, like, boom, oh, you got to get out to your 5s and 25s, and IED just went off. That doesn't bother me as bad as aftermath stuff. Like, you get there and it's already been done.
Yeah.
And it's like some things you just – anyways, so I get back and I'm partying, I'm drinking, still, and it's starting to kick up. Like, it's not just weekends. Now it's like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Yeah. And then it kicks into where it's not partying every day, but I'm definitely drinking every day.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between drinking and partying.
Absolutely.
At that point in my life, there was a big difference.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm going to be drinking. I mean, it's Monday, I'm going to have at least 4 to 6.
Right.
That's just a given.
Yeah.
But then it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The boys were going out to Huntington Beach. We're going like it's and that was every week, every week, every weekend for a year, and it just took its toll on me. And I got to a point where it just wasn't fun anymore. Yeah. It just got to where I hated everything. When I got to drinking so many in, I would just something in me just hated everybody, everything. I hated myself, and not really depressed. It was anger. And it's like, I don't know, just getting this weird headspace.
Yeah.
And people do know this. I've been divorced, but I got married after I got out. I'm no longer my wife anymore. We were married for about 3 years. But we were dating at the time, and we're in Palm Springs, which is about an hour from 29 Palms. Beautiful little oasis out in the high desert.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful area.
And we were leaving, watching the movies, going back to base. We may have been 10 minutes outside of Palm Springs going back to base. And it's like I felt like my body did a backflip. Like if you've been riding roller coasters all day and like how you feel like your body does that, but I hadn't been.
Yeah.
And I she was driving, and I grabbed the seat. I grabbed the seat. And she goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know." And all of a sudden, like I just got on edge. My ears got really hot. My neck felt like it was just, I don't know, like I was just crying. Yeah. And I don't know why I said crying. I wasn't crying. It's just like, I didn't know if I was going to have a stroke. I didn't know what was about to happen. And then it did it again. I felt like my body's doing a backflip. My face started tingling really bad. Like I got spider webs everywhere, man. And I just couldn't stop rubbing my face. My ears were on fire. And I said her name, and I said, I don't feel right. And she goes, "What's wrong?" And she just pulled over. I said, "You got to stop. This vehicle has to stop." And she pulled over. She stopped. I got out, and I started walking around like, whew, like I wasn't right. And it was just getting worse and worse. And I said, "I got to go to the doctor." She goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I don't know if I'm about to have a heart attack, a stroke, like something's coming." So she takes me to the emergency room. I get in there, and the doctor, they took me straight back because I wasn't going to just sit down. Like I was in that mood. Like I wasn't playing around. Like it's time. And this is almost a year after I'd gotten back from Iraq. And it was 2010. And the doctor set me down in the hallway on the floor. And he said, "Sir," I'm not going to do his accent. He said, "Sir, you're just probably having an anxiety attack. Have you been on any recent deployments?" Because we had looked at all my stuff, knew I was in the Marine Corps. I said, "Yes, I've been back, but it's been like a year ago. That was a long time ago. This ain't a panic attack. I know what panic attacks are. This is something different." And I kept trying to argue with him. He said, okay. Just take this, put it under your tongue. I'm going to come back in 10 minutes. And if you're calm, then I'm right. And if you're still like this, we'll move on, and you're right, and we'll figure this thing out. Right. And I said, I wasn't happy. I took it from him, put it under my tongue. Like, dude, okay, whatever, get out of my face.
Yeah.
And he goes off. And I'm sitting there. I'm not kidding, man. 3 or 4 minutes later, I felt calmer than I've ever been my entire life. I felt good. I was relaxed.
Yeah.
I was centered. My thinking cleared up. I mean, I was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when I knew. I thought, what is going on? Like something's not right.
Yeah.
And he came back like 10 minutes later, like he said he would. And he said, "How you feeling?" And he knew because I looked at him and I was like, "Dude, I'm good." Like I couldn't fake it. I couldn't be like, I'm still crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't fake it. So I just looked at him and said, "Man, I'm good." And he said, "What you're having is anxiety attack or a panic attack, and it could be caused quite possibly from PTSD." And I was like, no, because a lot of our guys in our unit, they didn't have it, and I wasn't gonna be that guy. Like there's just no way. I'm not gonna be that dude.
That dude that had it. Yeah.
I'm not. No. If they ain't got it, I ain't got it.
Yeah.
And whenever something like that happens, we don't have to. You get in big trouble if you don't report it when you get back to base.
Yeah.
So I told my staff sergeant, and he ran it up the chain. Well, then it comes back down and says the worst thing possible. And I didn't tell anybody. They're the only ones that knew. I said, "Let's keep this between ourselves." And they're really cool about it. And he said, "You got to go see this therapist."
Yep.
Like on Tuesday or something like that. And I was like, "No." And he said, and I asked him, I was like, "Is it during hours? Like, or is it after?" Because I want to be after. Nobody knows where I'm going. He said, "It's the last hour. You're going to leave we left the ramp at 1600, so 4:00.
Yeah.
And he said, "That's at 1500s when you're going." I was like, "No." Because then I know people's going to be asking questions.
Like, wait, where's Morpheus? Why is he not here?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I just tell them it's something going on medically, not mentally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they did. They stuck up for me, and I left, and I hated it, man. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
They prescribed me Xanax, and I'm talking about the stout stuff, and it made me a zombie. I hated it. I quit taking it.
Yeah.
And some people get addicted to it. Yep. I could see why.
Yeah.
It just wasn't me. I don't feel like I'm losing control of my body.
Right.
I say that, and I had an alcohol problem, but anyways, something about pills, it just didn't jive with me. And I told them I'm not taking that. So they tried to give me, what's that stuff that for depression and anxiety that you take every day?
Oh, it's not Valium, is it?
No. It's like something that builds up in your system over time that a lot of people take. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They tried to give me that when
Zoloft.
That's it.
So I took that for a couple of months, and they may have told me, I just wasn't listening. Don't stop immediately. Why did I do? I was like, I don't want to take this anymore. I stopped. Now my brain started having these weird zaps. Like I was sitting there, I was like, oh, what was that? So I go to the doctor. They said, "Did you stop taking your medicine?"
And you're like,
yes. And he goes, "Those are zaps." And I was like, what? I'm not taking something that's going to do that to me. Yeah. So I just bared through the zaps. It was over. And I thought, I just drink. That's just the best way to deal with it. How horrible does that sound?
Oh,
how horrible does that sound?
But I fully understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because it's very similar to what I went through.
Like how horrible does that sound? Oh, we still got time. We're good.
Yeah.
So I'm just tanking at this point in my life. Like I'm going down.
At this point, like I need the alcohol to numb the pain.
Yes. So I'm horrible. I was an alcoholic by this time. I drank so much. I was to a point where I was drinking about 12 beers a day easily.
Yeah.
And people are like, there's no way, Jared. I'm telling you, people that know, there is a way. It can happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like you slam all 12 of them in one sitting.
No.
But it's just throughout the day, throughout the evening and the night.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to the point where you're going to class 6 and you're getting a 30 rack every day because you don't want to run out.
Yes, that's it. You pre-plan everything. Yeah. That's what I was doing. I was at that point. I made sure it was always stocked, so I didn't ever have to worry about having to get a ride to go get it.
Yeah.
That was my idol.
Yeah.
That was what came first. That was number one priority of my life. Not my job, not my friends. I had to make sure that fridge has stuff in it.
Yep.
And I remember that was a true idol in my life. Mm-hmm. And that's what I worshiped, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Because without that, I wasn't going to be a happy camper. Like I needed that, quote unquote.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's where I was at, and I remember. So I had a friend, still have a friend. His name's Andrew Holbert, and if he's listening to this, thank you so much. I actually got back with him a few months ago, I guess. But before we went to Iraq, me and him, he lived in Vegas, 3 hours away. We'd go about every other weekend together doing the Vegas thing. Then we get back from Iraq, and he gets saved. He didn't know I was saved at all, and he was inviting me to church and stuff like that. And he gave me a ride every now and then. And I remember we were in that Dodge Avenger, and he would be playing I didn't know. I grew up with hymns, the old hymnals, and I didn't know there was like modern Christian music that sounded like stuff I listened to that I like.
Yeah.
And I got in there, and he's singing stuff. I was like, what is that, dude? That's kind of cool. But I didn't say that in my mind. I'm thinking in my mind, but I didn't say it.
Right.
I'm just sitting there. And I'm telling you, that was like, he was like bringing light into my life, and I was like a cockroach that just wanted to run away. Like when you flip a light in a dark room, the cockroaches run away.
Run away, yeah.
That was that cockroach, man. Like I wanted to run away. I felt uncomfortable, and he made me uncomfortable, and because I knew, man, I grew up with it my whole life. And he'd ask me to church, and I'd always tell him no or make up an excuse. Well, one morning, I hit rock bottom. I was in my barracks room, and I remember he had sent me a text maybe the night before that morning. And it's one of those things where you wake up, and I woke up really early that morning for some reason. My head was pounding. It was a Sunday morning. And I seen his text and say, you want to go to church or something like that? And I just put back, yeah, maybe, or something like that, real short. And about 5 minutes later, which it takes like 10 minutes to get there, so I don't know how the MPs didn't pull him over, but he gets there in like 5 minutes, and I didn't think it was him because it was there so early. And he must have been like donkey kicking the door. It's like, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, crap. I thought it was like a staff sergeant or something. I get up.
You're like, oh, no, what did I do?
Open the door. It's him. And he's like, come on, let's go to church. I was like, no, man, like I don't have anything ready. Get in the shower. And I get in the shower. And as I'm getting out, I'm thinking, I don't have any clothes. And I'm talking to him. Well, he's getting my clothes ready and everything. So he's not going to give me an excuse.
Yeah.
And so I get in his car, me and him and his family go to the church off base. And I got back, Pastor David. I just got back with him like a month ago. And he doesn't even know who I am. But I texted him. I told him about what kind of, I don't know, like his church. It's Palms Baptist Church in 29 Palms. And that Sunday morning, I don't remember the message. But I do remember after the message, what he had preached about got me to the point it was just for me. And you got to give me grace on this, like 12 years ago. So it was a while. I can't remember the exact message that was preached, but it was about being on the fence, more or less.
Yeah.
And I remember I just fell apart. Like, it's like, God, I'm done. I can't. Like, I was at my bottom. Everybody's bottom looked different. That was mine.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm yours. Like, I can't keep doing this. And I know what being with you in a relationship with you is what's right. And I said, I'm sick of this. I can't keep living this way. I'm going to die or I'm going to die in a miserable old man. One way or the other, I'm not living anymore.
Right.
Like, I'm alive and I ain't living.
Yeah.
This sucks. Like, I hate my life. Mm-hmm. And I just want to be yours. And that's when I feel like part of salvation is repentance. Mm-hmm. Repentance, like in being truly sorrowful for your sin.
Yeah, you confess your sins.
And you confess it.
Yeah.
And it's like in that moment, I was true. To this day, I am like, I hate sin now, and I hate it when I do sin now. Back then, I didn't hate it. I looked for it. And in that moment, I was done, man. I was like, God, I'm so sorry. Like, truly repentant. I want to turn from it. I don't want anything to do with it. And I'm yours. I just want to serve you, be yours, whatever that looks like the rest of my life. And
right.
After that, it was like we talk about, not the jet ski, the quick turnaround. It was like more like the big barge.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, we went that way, the right way. And there was big steps for me, though. Like I got into a men's group, or it wasn't men's, it was men and women. Either way, it was a study group out in town on Thursday nights. We'd do a Bible study, and it was at a staff sergeant's house. That wasn't in my unit or anything, but he had it out there. And then we'd watch the Thursday night football game, NFL, after the study was over. Right. So that was cool. So I started getting back in that rhythm. I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm getting, and like I said, I grew up in church. So I knew a lot of the answers that they were asking. Like that head knowledge finally connected.
Finally connected with the heart knowledge.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's a beautiful moment when they just go boom and they mesh. Yeah. It's like now my mind truly understands it because there's that connection.
Right.
Oh, I love it. And so that gets me to where I'm at today. There's so much more in that, but we don't have time for.
It's beautiful.
Told you, the middle part's the long part for me.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's my middle section.
As I'm listening to your story, I mean, you've told me some of it before.
Yeah.
And so, getting to hear your story, I find it very funny how very similar our stories are. And you and Michael always joke all the time about, get out of my head.
Yes.
You're always
reading my mail.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, like God put us together for a reason. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but like your upbringing is very similar to my upbringing. Mm. You went to the military and had your rock bottom moment period. And then, I went to the military and I had mine. The good thing for you was yours was a 4-6 year period kind of thing.
Yeah. That's the school. Can I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah.
I never get a call from them. Yes. I just got a missed call from y'all. Yes, it is. Okay. He was supposed to go to his grandma's today on the bus. He normally rides the bus home. Just my mom was going to meet him there. Me and his mom are not. Let me call real quick, and I'll send somebody up there to get him. Okay. Thank you. I knew it. See, it's sorry. Yeah. He's just up there. You're supposed to be a bus rider?
Yeah.
Oh, the car. I'm so sorry, man.
No, you're good.
We'll just I'll cut this part out.
Yeah, you're good.
I'll just edit it to where it just goes. All right, because Sawyer's at school and he didn't get in the bus, he went in the car rider line. Now he's in the office sitting there. And I'm literally in the middle of a podcast. I had to stop the podcast. Okay, bye. Wow. Crap. Shoot. Okay, bye. And he starts talking.
No, I'm not going to answer.
I know. She won't. This is. Is that her talking? I'm just texting her. I'm not getting him. You'll have to get him. Gosh, man, answer your phone. You just had it in your hand. Anger, dude. I'm getting mad right now. Like I'm telling you, I got to work on it.
Yeah.
I can hear. I know that's her. Answer your phone. Now they're done. Your call has been forwarded. I got to go.
No, you're good.
I'm not leaving. I'm just going to go tell her to go get him.
You want me to hit pause or keep it going?
No, you can leave it going. It's got a lot of record time.
Okay.
I'm just going to cut this whole part out.
Yeah, you're good.
Just call Bella. Bella's going to get him.
Nice.
I know she heard me. That was her talking. Pick up your phone. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. At least you knew it was a school. I've been getting spam calls. I saw it and I was like, nope, spam. Nope, spam.
Yeah, I knew when I saw that 4311.
Yeah.
That's the school.
That's the school. I
Bella,
need that one.
Yeah, and I'm the first contact that they make. Amanda hates that. But I actually answer my phone. I keep it on me all day.
Right.
Somebody. Oh, Lord have mercy. Help me. Help me, Tom Cruise. All right. Help me, Oprah Winfrey. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Talladega Nights. All right. So, where was you at?
Just the very beginning.
So wherever you feel like it'd be a good part to, I mean, that's what I'll do. So I'll try and get back in my position I was in. All right. Sorry.
No, you're good. So it's pretty cool that you and I are able to have the same storyline.
Yeah.
Yours was a 4 or 5 year period. Unfortunately for me, mine was like an 18-year period. So I joined the military at 18, went straight off, went to San Antonio. You talk about the bus ride and everything. I never flew on a plane until I joined the military. So my very first airline flight,
same dude,
is going to basic training down in San Antonio.
Same here.
So we're leaving from Amarillo. We go to Dallas. There's a thunderstorm. We get delayed in Dallas. We don't fly out of Dallas to get to San Antonio until after midnight. And we left Amarillo at like 9 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, we've been in Dallas all day long.
Gave you time to get nervous.
So when we get to San Antonio, we're starving. We're tired. We're feeling yucky because we've been in the same clothes the whole time. So when we get there and we're on the buses and we're all like half asleep, you know, taking the bus ride from the airport over to the base, and, you know, they get on, they start yelling at us too. And even though it's now like 2:00 in the morning, they're not going to take it easy because it's 2:00 in the morning.
No.
You know, they're like, oh, well, you showed up. Oh, we're starting now. And, you know, so they're going through and they're yelling at us, which makes it even worse because we're still half asleep and we're trying to wake up while they're yelling at us.
Yeah.
You know, so I always kind of look back at it later, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, I think it would have been better if we would have been awake and like fully aware of what was happening.
Yes.
Because we wouldn't have been so groggy through everything that was happening. But because we were all so groggy, the yelling intensified because we weren't like doing what they were saying to do. We weren't understanding what they were saying. So it was just a very long, horrible period.
Yeah.
So that first 24 hours of joining the military was a very eye-opening, rough experience.
You're not at home. You're in a man's world now. Like, we ain't gonna mama you.
And, you know, so we get like 4 hours of sleep, and we're, you know, right back to it. Heads getting shaved first day, and we're like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Here we go.
And so I leave from there. And for me, the ironic part was I was never joining the military to be in the military for a career. I was joining the military as a means to an end to go to college. And my original job was going to be a crew chief on a C-130.
Okay.
And so I was going to be stationed up at Little Rock Air Force Base, which I was like, that's cool. My grandparents live, you know, here in DeQueen. Easy trip. Like, you know, this is going to be a good 4 year, or I did a 6 year contract. So it could be a good 6 year stint. Well,
that's a good plan.
I get to basic, and they bring all these different job people in to talk about the different jobs that you could do in the Air Force. And
how old were you at the time when this
18.
is happening?
18.
Yeah.
First time away from home.
Yeah.
I'm 18 years old. And so the first, I would say probably 95% of them that came through, I slept through the presentation. I didn't pay attention. I was like, oh, I'm going to go be a crew chief. I already have a job. You know, it's okay. There were some people that joined undecided, and they were going to get assigned a job after they got through basic.
Right.
Well, I already had a job, so I was like, I don't care. I don't need to pay attention to any of this. And then this guy came in, and he started talking about TACP, which is Tactical Air Control Party. And immediately as he starts describing it, and we start looking at videos, and I'm just like, man, this is awesome. Like,
so cool.
Like, I'm wide awake. Like, I'm hooked. Like, I get to drive Humvees. I get to, you know, talk to aircraft and drop bombs. Like, you know, I get to go out and actually not be a chair force person. I actually get to be forward and actually outdoors person and get to do all these things. I was like, man, this is awesome. Like, I think I really want to do this. And so
it's checking all of Bobby's boxes.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the funny thing is through basic, it was an 8-week program for us. But I called home on the very first week, 30-second phone call, just say, hey, I'm alive. Here's my address. Mm-hmm. That's it. I didn't get to call home again until probably about week 4. And then again, it's only like a 2-minute conversation. Boom, boom, boom. Well, this is like week 6, and I have to make a decision now. Like, we have to decide what we're doing and all this. So our instructors were actually really cool, because there was 50 of us that were like, hey, we want to do this. We went and did a tryout. Out of the 50, there was only 10 that were selected. I was one of the 10 that got selected. So we got to come back and do a follow-on interview, get to ask more in-depth questions, and really get to start figuring things out. And our instructor was like, hey, go call whoever you need to call, unlimited time.
Yeah.
Because this decision you're about to make is going to affect the rest of your career. So you have time to make your decision the right way. So go call whoever you need to call. So I called Dad, and I'm talking to him and telling him, I could still do this. And then if I don't like it, then I can cross train over later and to go do TAC-P and, but I was like, I don't really know, but I was like, by then I'm already going to be older, and I don't know if I really want to do that, but I'm kind of like, I'm very interested in this now. And Dad told me, he was like, you got to do what you got to do. He was like, if this is something that you think you want to do, that's something you think you're going to enjoy, I would do it now. He goes, but I can't make the decision for you. I'm not there. He was like, so you have to make the best decision for you. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. So I did, made the decision to change jobs, and went and did. And I became a TAC-P. So I go out and do training out in Florida, and then survival school. And, next thing you know, it's like 6 months before I ever get to my first assignment. And so along the way, I was so busy in getting through basic, getting through tech school, getting through survival school, that it never once, I had some opportunities to really party and to do, to do. But one, I was underage. 2,
oh yeah, that's true.
2, we were so concerned with making it through everything.
Yeah,
we're like, oh man, like I don't know how to do all this. Like, I'm 18 years old. Like, I've got to make it through all this training. So that was kind of the forefront, thing in my mind, was getting through all that.
Right.
But doing all of that, I stopped kind of going to church all the time. I was focused on doing the training. Our weekends were, spent recovering, our bodies recovering, getting all the gear prepped and everything for the next weeks. And, we're just doing that cycle. Right. And so it wasn't until I got to my first assignment out in Georgia where I really was like on my own. Like, I'm now in the military. I made it to my unit. I'm actually living this way. And so you kind of start, you start partying, you start going out, and I had a military issued fake ID. Honestly, I'd lost my ID, and then I went to go get a new ID, and the person that was putting my information on paper put the wrong information on my card. I filled out all the correct paperwork, but he looked at the wrong paper and put this other information on there. So it was my picture with the wrong birthday. And so at 19 years old, you're like, man, this is the greatest thing ever. I have a military issued fake ID. So
it's legit too.
Totally legit.
Pass any sniff test. Like, you look at it and they're like, wow, that is the real deal.
That's the real deal.
He is 48 years old.
So yeah, it said I was 24, even though I was only 19.
Yeah.
And so, we were going out partying, and like you had said, like, it went from just on the weekends to like every day of the week. And so when I left Georgia after only a year and went to Alaska, it was probably the best thing for me, because I've always said, if I never got that assignment within 1 year of being in Georgia, I would not have made it through the military. I probably would have got kicked out. Ooh. Because we got so immersed in the party scene of Savannah, and, the girls, the beaches, all of the outside noise.
Yeah.
That became our focus.
Yeah.
And being in the military was like it was on the back burner. So getting that assignment to Alaska saved my career. So
that's awesome.
I get to Alaska, and then as soon as I get there, and I was devastated because my unit in Georgia was getting ready to deploy. And I'm like, man, like I want to go on this deployment with my boys. Like I've done all this training with them. I got certified with them. And now you're telling me I can't deploy. Like I got to go to another unit. Like that was very hard for me to hear. So I get up to Alaska, and next thing I know, they're getting spun up to deploy. It's just going to be about 3 months later than what the guys in Georgia were doing. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go on that first deployment and I make it out to Iraq. And
what year is this?
This is in 2005.
Okay.
So
a few years before I went.
Yeah. So
4 years after 9/11.
2005. Yeah. Yep. And we're up in Missoula, and I mean we did stupid stuff up there in Missoula. I mean just being 18, 19, 20-year-old kids up there. But man, it was fun. It was everything that we had been training to do that we got allowed to do.
Yeah.
It's weird to sit here to say now that it was fun being in a firefight, that it was fun getting blown up, that it was fun, everything that came with it. But it was like, I got to live all of my dreams of being an action hero in all the movies that you've ever seen. Black Hawk Down, all the different Tears of the Sun, all these different military movies. And you're like, man, I kind of want to be one of those guys. Like, that'd be cool. Well, in the job that I was doing back then, like we were out rolling. There was one period where I was awake for about 5 days. We went from mission, we hit a house, follow on. And 5 days later, I mean, we finally make it back to the base.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were exhausted physically, emotionally, everything. We were just drained. But
There's no feeling like that either.
It was so fun.
I've been up 3 days or so at a time myself. That's not
and when you're doing the job and getting to be like, man, this is the coolest thing ever. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
And so I get through that deployment.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
When I know that you talk to therapists and stuff, right? Actively still today.
Yep.
So I told you about when I went to the one I spoke to there briefly.
Yep.
She told me something that just stuck out in my mind. She said, I don't know how many months you were there your first deployment. I was there for 7.
My first one was 7.
Okay, so 7 months, and she had said, in 7 months, your brain has, because all the chemicals and the adrenaline that dumps and the dopamine and everything that, so throughout a normal person's span of life, it's a handful of times where that fight or flight, the true adrenaline dump, the real one, not the scared one or the jump scare.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
And some people may never, but a few times their whole life.
Yeah.
They say if you're going through that once, twice a week or once a day or for 7 months, it's just that constant dump and dump. It rewires stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
It redistributes, and it's not as balanced as it once was.
Yes.
And it may never be the same.
Yes.
Hence medications, therapists, things like that. I just didn't know if you agreed with that, if you'd heard about that.
I have heard about that, and I fully agree. Because that first deployment, and I mean, every one of my deployments, I did 10 total deployments. 7 of them were combat. 3 of them were a deterrence response force type thing, to where we were deployed to a pre-stage area and for a region in case something happened in the region, we could easily respond to different things. So those 3, we weren't getting combat pay. I never saw combat. It was more just training and training locals and stuff like that. So I never really had anything there. Of the 7 combat deployments I've earned, through every 7 of them, there was a moment in time where I almost died in all 7 of them. And one of them in particular, multiple times through that deployment, to where there was one point I was literally thinking to myself as we're in the middle of this firefight, this is it. This is when I'm going to die. Like, this is how I'm going to die. And those thoughts very quickly run into your mind. And some people freeze. Some people are numb to it and don't ever, think about it. Don't even acknowledge that moment happened. For me, I froze for a second, thinking about it like, man, I'm going to die. This is how I'm going to die. Mm-hmm. And then it's the discipline kicked in, the training kicked in. It's like, well, we got to go and we got to keep pressing on. So when you make it out of that firefight, it's one of those weird things where we're all sitting around laughing. We're all sitting around joking of, man, I can't believe, like, oh, did you see you? Oh man, I just totally ate it over here. I was, we're running over to behind this building or, behind this boulder or something. And where we were at, like, there was this giant field, and it's not even grass. It's not even, terrain.
Right.
You got dips and valleys, and it's in the middle of the night. And when you're wearing your nods, like, you can't see, like, your depth perception is gone when you're wearing your night vision devices. And so as you take off running to this building and you got, the little terrain goes like this, you're just running, you're like, cool, and you just eat it real bad, And so we see a couple people fall, and afterwards you got to find humor in the moment.
Yeah.
And that was our coping mechanism, was finding humor through it. And so, we laugh at inappropriate things all the time. And so that was the moment that I really thought I was going to die. And so through all of these different moments, I have earned in the Air Force, they're called Air Force combat medal badges. Mm-hmm. And it's very hard in the Air Force to get a combat action medal. And so I have 6 of them. And so when I retired, people were looking at my ribbon rack and they're like, man, like, you don't even have one. Like, you don't just have one, you have 6 of them. Like, I've never seen someone that have that many. I'm like, well, this is how it was when I joined, back in 2003, we were deploying nonstop. And I was going to the dangerous points, and, we were running operations, and, when you've been blown up multiple times, when you've been shot at multiple times, you're in positions to get combat action medals. And so it was hard for regular Air Force people to fathom that you had that.
Yeah.
And I think my 3rd or 4th deployment was where I really started, all the effects of everything I went through really started kicking in. Mm-hmm. And so, like you were just talking about, like, all that brain and being rewired and everything. Well, I am diagnosed as having post PTSD with anxiety and anger and depression. And so for me, during my coping mechanism pill to all of this, because it's better now, but if we ever went to the doctor, and especially mental health, if we ever went to mental health, we would lose our controlling status, and we weren't going to be allowed to control.
Yeah.
For me, I never wanted to stop controlling. It's one of the greatest feelings you'll ever experience in your life, being on the side of a mountain, knowing that you're the one that is directing and controlling a multi-million-dollar asset, to be able to drop a 2,000-pound bomb directly where you told it to drop. And then you are close enough to where you can feel the blast come back and rush through your body as you drop it and you see the explosion go off. It's one of the greatest feelings you'll ever experience. That adrenaline rush is so high. And I never wanted to lose that. I never wanted to stop being the guy on the hill to call in the airstrikes. Mm-hmm. And so I would do whatever I had to do to ensure that I still got to control. For me, my coping mechanism was alcohol. Mm-hmm.
Seems to be a reoccurring theme in the military, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we lived the rock star lifestyle because we knew that we were doing 6 months on, 6 months off. On paper, that's what it was, but reality was closer to like 7 or 8 months deployed, and you're only home for about 4 or 5 months. Mm-hmm. And so in those 4 or 5 months, especially after you're going through close call after close call after close call. I never thought I was going to live to retirement. I always thought I was going to die overseas doing the job.
Mm-hmm.
So I never lived a life for the future.
Yeah.
My mentality and my thought process was always, I'm living for the here and now.
Yeah.
So I would go on whatever trip I wanted to go to. I would party wherever I wanted to party. Chasing women, all the negative, bad things that you could do.
Like the drink and be merry today, because tomorrow we die, or however that goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't know when you're going to die, so might as well live it up in the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I never did any drugs. Because that was the line. I knew we got drug tested.
Yeah. That was always, it still is a big part of my testimony. Because I thought, man, if we was allowed to do it, there's no telling. I may have done drugs, but
right,
like you said, I wanted an honorable discharge. I didn't. After all that, I didn't want to be kicked out of the military over something stupid.
Right.
But yes, go ahead.
And so because of that, drugs was the line. Never once came up to that line because I knew that's going to end my career.
Yes.
And I'm going to get kicked out and not be able to do what I want to do anymore.
Or really work a lot of places.
Yeah. And so I would do the partying up to that point and to that line, to where I would go on, week-long benders.
Mm-hmm.
And it was drinking to numb the pain.
Was it ever fun for a season?
All the time.
Did it ever make that turn to where it wasn't fun anymore?
Kind of. And so it's weird. Like, so I understand going through therapy now and talking to the therapist and being open about it now, they will tell you that alcohol opens those emotions to hit harder. And so you're drinking to numb the pain, but really all you're doing is causing more pain because it's relaxing all of the guards that you have built up.
Yeah.
And so you're now experiencing all those pains and emotions more. So I was drinking to get past the pain into numbness. And I mean, I was like you, where I could drink 12, 15 beers a day and not even mine. Never noticed it. And it got to the point where now, like, I mean, where I'm at now and where I was then, like, in the drinking aspect of life has been completely different. I would be able to, I desired it. I craved it. I couldn't wait till I got off work so I could go and start drinking again. I couldn't wait. On the weekends, we're going to go up to the sports bar and we're going to watch all the college games. And, we're going to get there at 11 o'clock when it opens, and we're going to get our favorite booth, and we're going to sit there and we're going to drink all day long. And, we're going to have fun. We're going to watch all the sports games. And it was a great time. In theory, and what my mind said this was a great time. And it did get to a point where I finally stopped trying to numb the pain, but that probably wasn't until like 15 years later. I mean, I'm talking for a good solid 15 years, I was drinking to numb the pain, to deal with all the emotions that I was dealing with.
Yeah.
And it's weird because at least back then, I didn't like to acknowledge the fact I had PTSD. I didn't like to acknowledge the fact that I have mental issues. And it wasn't until probably, I think it was like 2012, and I was overseas, and I was on vacation with good friends of mine, and they're still some of the best friends that I have to this day. Well, I had an episode that night.
Yeah.
And they were phenomenal through that episode that I had. I don't think I've ever been violent that I can remember during my episodes. But I do it's very livid. It's very vivid scenes and stuff. And the tears are around, you know, I mean, the cold sweats. I mean, I'm reliving everything, even though we could be talking just like this. I have no idea what you're saying to me. I'm reliving you or somebody else in my vision of what I'm living. And so I went through that, and it was probably one of the worst ones I've ever gone through. And so this person was very good of not freaking out in the moment, of an understanding that I was having an episode, stayed calm through it, helped me stay calm, helped me come back out of it.
Yeah.
And this person is one of the main reasons that I acknowledged that I did have PTSD. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And they're like, you're not fine. Like, you need to tell people. And I was like, I'm not telling anybody because I still want to control. If I start telling people about this, I'm going to lose my controlling status.
Yeah.
And so this person, at least for a little while, would still like talk to me then. Like, if you're not going to talk to other people, you're going to at least open up and talk to me. And that way you're not doing your numbing copingisms yourself.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm no longer going to church. I'm no longer reading the Bible. I'm not involved in any shape or form. I had friends that went to church.
Right.
I had friends that tried to get me to go to church, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I just don't want to do it. One of the things that sucked for me was I'm a very connected person to community. And so when I lived in Dumas, I felt very connected. I felt like I was a part of the community, and I kind of was. I mean, I was very connected in the church. I was connected in school and sports. Like, people knew me around town. So I was very connected to the town. When I was in the military, there was never been a town I've ever lived in that I felt connected, that I felt like it was home, that I felt this is where I belong. It was always a stopping ground and a stopping point. And that's why I felt more at ease and more comfortable overseas than I ever did being in the States.
Right.
And the only bad thing that we always joked about being overseas was we didn't have any alcohol. But we're like, our lives are easier. I don't have to worry about a mortgage. I don't have to worry about where my things are. I don't have to worry about what I'm going to wear every day. I don't have to worry about getting gas in my vehicle or getting groceries or this and like all the daily life things gone.
Yes.
I just have to wake up, go to work,
do my job,
work out, eat, and go to sleep and get to hang out with the boys. If there's a mission, I get to do a mission, and that means I either get to go shoot somebody or I get to go drop bombs. If not, cool. I'm in the gym working out, and we're playing video games in the dorm room or in the hooch, like in our tent area. Like this is great life, and we loved it. I felt more at home, more at peace there. And I enjoyed being able to control who I interacted with. I never talked to anybody. Mom would be the only one that I ever talked to, and I would call her. I did make it a point of habit. I would call Mom once a week just to let her know that, hey, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
But I never talked to anyone. And it was Mom's responsibility to talk to everybody else.
Right.
Like, I will talk to you for, 10, 15 minutes at a time, and then you talk to everybody else. And it's funny how from my first deployment to my 10th deployment, how technology changed, and it made it super easy for everyone. So the people are calling, texting all the time. I had a policy where I was like, don't call me. I will call you.
Yeah.
Because if one, time change difference. Two,
yes,
you never know what I'm doing. I never want you to call when I'm busy doing something and then me now be distracted by, oh, well, you called what was going on, but I still have to do this over, but I'm thinking about this, but I still have to do this. And I never want my mind to be split focused. And so I'm very good at blocking things out. And so I would tell them like, hey, I will call you and I will engage in conversations with you.
Yes.
Even though you can call me. If there's something important, send me an email or send me a text and say, hey, call, like when it got to where they could text back and forth, send me a message and say, hey, we need to talk soon. And then I would again, I would call you when I could. And this is kind of how we did it. And it probably is not the best way of doing it, but for me, that was the best way I was able to do it, because I was very front side focused, and I'm doing the job, and everybody else I could care less about.
Yeah.
And I was very jaded. And I don't know if I do know. It came from, like you were kind of talking about, the things that you had to change.
Mm-hmm.
You had to harden your heart and your mentality and your thought process and everything in order to survive over there. I had this old crusty sergeant first class tell me during on my very first deployment, we had lost a couple of guys. We had killed some guys. And he had told me, he was like, hey, man, because I'd get kind of emotional on either side. And he was like, dude, you better suck it up. Like, if you can't handle this, then you're not going to be able to handle this type of job, and you're going to have to go do something else.
Yeah.
And he was like, so at that point, my mentality shifted to it's either kill or be killed. And I became very jaded and very angry and very like, it's not that I hated them as people. I hated them because that's who I was supposed to hate at the time.
Yes. Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah.
So, civilians don't.
They don't.
Especially very nice, soft-hearted civilians.
Right.
They don't understand, like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
It's not because I innately hate them. It's not it.
Yeah.
You pretty much more or less train yourself to hate it. And then once you see them be aggression, it's like the first night when I was in Rawa, and they said it was Chinese missiles. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But either way, it hit very close to where we were at, and I was on vehicle watch.
Yep.
And immediately I understood, it's like somebody's trying to kill me. I don't care what the color of their skin is or anything else, but they're trying to kill me. But I can label it because I know it's a Middle Eastern person.
Yep.
And so every time I'd see that, I'd be like, yep, they're a threat. And that's just the way I took it. Because
you had to.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
You have to.
To kind of keep yourself safe.
If you don't harden yourself, then you get it becomes a point where you become a liability.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be a liability to my teammates. And so I embodied the jadedness of the world, and that was just how I was. And I was very good at controlling. I was good at teaching how to do it. I was always thought I was one of the best. We're just cocky that way, but we think that we are the best at doing things, and that was just our mentality, and like, I'm going to be the best at everything, and that's how it was off work. Like, I'm going to be the best at whatever we're doing, whether we're playing drinking games, whether we were, doing all the bad things that we were doing. I'm going to be the best at it. And so I get to Korea. I'm now 15 years in, and I'm there for 2 years. And Korea was a very good assignment for me, both personally and career-wise. Personally, I met 3 or 4 individuals that I'm very close with still today that we've connected on a life basis. And I mean, those individuals, I mean, I'd go to bat for them. Anything they need, they call me. I'm going to drop everything to go help them. And so to find those people that build you up and to give you that strength, like, I mean, that was so good, because it allowed me to realize that I didn't have to rely on the alcohol to numb the pain. Right. That I could have them.
Yes.
Like, I could lean on them. And then I did I got recognized for a lot of things I did in Korea, and it was a very good assignment for me. Well, when I was leaving there, I was working with our assignment manager to come back to the States, and I thought I was going to get Colorado Springs. Ended up getting Fort Polk, Louisiana. And I was like, hey, bro, like, what the heck? Colorado is not Louisiana. Like,
what do you mean, man? You don't want to be in the swamps and the humidity?
Something happened here, man. Like, I did not want to be there.
Yeah.
And it was the hardest assignment that I'd ever been at for my career. There was a lot of hiccups there, a lot of setbacks there. It was the worst career-wise assignment of my career. Personally, it was probably the best assignment for my career.
Yeah.
I had two really good commanders while I lived there that were, one of them in particular was the one that I had when my sister got sick. And he was a family man. He was a devoted Christian. He lost his mother a couple of years ago. And so he understands, family, and wants to protect people and build people up and, relationships. And he was one of the few people that I ever worked with that fully embodied, they always say like mission first, people always. He truly did mean people always. Like, it didn't matter what the mission was. I'm going to take care of my people always.
Yeah.
And so being there, only being 4 hours to come home, I started coming back here more often, started kind of coming back into church, not because I wanted to, but I was home more often visiting, which meant I came up here because that's what the family was doing. My sister got me to go to her small group classes and stuff, and she got sick, was diagnosed with cancer, and then passed away shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
I think she got diagnosed in December, found out in December, something like that. And then by July, she had passed away. And so having this commander that put family first was like, go home.
Yeah.
Like, go home. Spend time with your family. My granddad passed away a week before my sister passed away. And so I was already coming back for my granddad's funeral. And then we had my granddad's funeral, and then 2 days later, then my sister died, and then we had my sister's funeral. And so I was up here spending time with the family, helping them, grieving, doing, everything we got to do. And that's when I got to really get to meet Josh. At the time, Micah was here, and that's when I got to meet Micah.
Yeah.
And it was one of those beautiful blessings that you hated to have to go through, have to live through. Like, losing a sister, like you never want to have that experience.
Yeah.
But because of her death, she brought me back to Christ. Because of her and because of that situation of being here, Josh, reached out, was talking to us, and I got to really know him as a person.
Yeah.
And so because of that, Josh was telling me about, how they do online services, and I'm going to, for about a month, I went to church every day for that month, and every message Josh is talking about, I mean, it's just hitting me like, boom, like, you were doing this. Boom, you are doing this. Like, hey, we're talking to you right now. God's sitting here knocking on my door, knocking on my heart, going, hey, Bobby, this is what you're doing. Like, you need to come back. You need to come back to the altar, and this is where you need to be. And so because of that period, when I left and went overseas to Germany, I watched a lot of online services. It was kind of hard to do time change wise and stuff. Yeah. So I wasn't consistent in it, but I did watch a lot of the services, which is way more than I ever did in my previous 15 years. But so I had that, and I started watching it, and started like, okay, like I'm ready to start coming back. And then I get to Texas for my last 18 months before I retire, and then moving back here. And then, so it's all right. Like this is where I'm going to be. And I'd always said, like, I'm coming back here because my niece, is here, and I want to be here until she graduates. And things might've been different. If my sister was still alive, then maybe I wouldn't feel so driven to be back here. But I'd always said, like, that was the reason I was coming back here. And it wasn't until the summer, like all the different events that we've done, all the different guest speakers we've had, talk about strategic places, and, the guys down in New Orleans and doing the evangelistic, all that stuff that we're doing there. And every message we're going through, God's sitting there talking to me going, this is you. Like, this isn't for the kids. Like, yes, they need it. They need to hear it, but you need to tune in as well.
Yeah.
So the one that really got me was down in New Orleans when he was talking about, being baby Christians and, the milk versus the meat and stuff. And I was like, I've read that before. I've heard that before, the brain knowledge. Like I knew all of that. But to have him that night, it was like, this is you.
Right.
You've been a Christian for years, but you're still a baby Christian. Why are you still a baby Christian? Like, why have you not progressed in your relationship with me?
Right.
Why have you not reached out? And like, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
For 20 years, for 21 years, I've been sitting here with my hand held out. And for 21 years, you're just snacking it away, just smacking it away.
Right.
Like, no, I don't want you. No, I don't need you. I've been here, I'm still holding it out. And finally, it's like, I see it. Like, everything I was doing. Now, I still stumble. I still fall. The internal demons that I have are still there. One of the things the therapist told me that I have to cope with and I have to come to understanding with is my anxiety, my anger, my depression, and my PTSD is always going to be there. There's no cure for it. What I need to do is learn how to manage and control it. And so the world tells you, well, you got this medication you can take, and I'm sure it works, and I'm sure it does. I'm so addicted to different things. I was addicted to drinking. I was addicted to smoking. I was addicted to dipping. Like I get very addicted to things.
Right. Yeah.
And so I know if I go and start taking medication, I'm going to get addicted.
Yeah.
And so for me personally, I have to be reliant on God to help me through those demons and through all those moments and doubts and everything I got.
Yeah.
And so what has helped me over the last year is knowing who my true core people are.
Yeah.
And knowing that I can be vulnerable with them about the ugly.
Yeah.
And they're still going to be there to help.
Mm-hmm.
So
the demons part of it, I used to think that exact same thing because of my past. And I think, well, everybody has old demons, same demons, new day, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something that this was a year or two ago. I was having a conversation. I can't remember which pastor I was talking to. Obviously, it wasn't Josh because I can't remember who I was talking to. I feel like it was somebody from Sims, Texas. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I was talking about what we're talking about. And it's true. I just never thought about it this way. When Jesus enters your life and the Holy Spirit takes over, they can't exist there, but we're still human. We still remember everything. Mm-hmm. It's like carrying that. And I know what you mean. It's like demon is not an actual literal demonic spirit inside of you, but it's a scar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when that scar, hasn't totally healed. And I guess what the therapist said, it'll never be gone. It'll always be fresh.
Yeah.
You just got to learn how to cope with when it gets touched, when that nerve gets struck.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I going to react to it?
Right.
Because it's going to hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to suck.
Yeah.
But how am I going to react to it whenever that cord gets struck?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I feel. And I can imagine doing 10 tours. I mean, I did one and 4 years in that environment. It was brutal and it was fun. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was all those things in one.
Oh, absolutely. It was the best of times and the worst of times.
Yeah. One crazy burrito, man. Like it's crazy, but I can't imagine doing 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got anything else, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I'm not finished. I'm saying if you're good with this,
I'm good with moving.
That's where you're at.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right. That does a lot of that. I'm over here like,
yeah.
I understand that. I understand where you're coming from. Even when you said the if drugs was on the table, that may have been something I did.
Absolutely.
When you said that, I was like, ooh, yeah.
It totally would have been. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's why I don't judge people. It's like this guy was on heroin and this guy was on meth and they're in rehab now and they're coming back. That guy over and he's sitting on that pew over there. It's like, stop pointing at him and point at yourself, dude. Yeah. Like that could have been me. That could have been you.
It would have been.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I'm very careful to not sit there and those people because I could easily have been those people.
Yeah.
And in my heart, I'm still those people.
And for me,
we're all sinners.
I mean, I understand there are programs to help people with addiction, and there's programs that are out there to help veterans with addiction.
Yes.
For me, it's hard to be fully into those programs because I know my addictive personality and I don't want to be around.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that barrier is gone of I never took it because I didn't want to get kicked out of the military. Well, now that barrier is gone,
not there anymore.
I don't have that anymore. I don't even want to put myself in that situation.
Yes.
Now I know that if I do it for the right reasons, and I know if I got God with me, I know that I can help people, and I know that I should help people. My human selfishness is not there because there is too much of a temptation.
Well, that's not a bad thing, man, because with me, like when I first got out, like, I'm done drinking. Like I'm finished. I'm not doing more. I couldn't go even to a Texas Roadhouse, because I'd see it, you could smell it, the neon signs were in there.
Right.
So I wouldn't go over to people's houses where I knew they would be drinking, not heavy drinking or anything, just casual
social drinking.
Social stuff, but I wouldn't do it. I couldn't. I'm just now at the point where it doesn't bother me. I can go in there, but the smell sometimes will get me, but like you said, you fight it. Like you just know better. It's like, I don't do that anymore. I'm done. But I don't think that's a bad thing to put up those. I think that's a healthy boundary.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, to say I'm stronger than Satan, I'm not.
Oh, absolutely not.
Now, Jesus who lives in me is.
Yes.
And I feel like the Holy Spirit gives us that discernment saying, you don't need to go in there just yet. You're not ready for that. I think there's wisdom there. I think that's okay. So when you say that, I don't think it's weakness. Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing saying, I think it's a good thing. I think that's God. Like because God knows when we're ready for certain things.
No, absolutely.
And He will test us and put us in situations that's going to try us. But I don't think He's going to put us in a situation where we're about to just eat it flat on our face, where He knows we're going to destined to fail.
Right.
And I think if you're thinking, I don't need to be in there, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I hope my kids have that perspective.
Yeah.
I don't need to be in that situation. I don't need to be in there just yet. Well, you'll be witness for Jesus in there. Yeah, but I'm not. What if I give into that temptation?
Right.
So.
And it's different, like, talking about this right here versus, the parks that we went to in New Orleans. It was totally different.
Yeah.
Because I was with people. They weren't doing it, even though it was there.
Yeah.
We saw the effects of it.
Yes.
Over here, you could be around it while it's happening at that moment and you're by yourself. Like, you're supposed to be the one that reaches out to pull people up. Well, I don't know if I'm strong enough yet to do that.
Well, and the thing I tell the youth is there's that line, and we're over here as the Christians, brothers and sisters. Then there's the world.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, don't step into the world to pull people across. You reach out without actually stepping. Like, I'm not going to go into a bar. I'm not going to go into a drug den. I'm not going to go into those places. But in the sober light of day, when I see those people, it's like, hey, man, what's up? And then you can talk to me.
Right.
I'm not going to go to that environment, that atmosphere.
Right.
But I'm going to you can easily reach out to them, though, with social media. There's a billion ways to talk to them where you don't have to put yourself in that.
Yeah.
Because we're still human.
Yep.
Man, there's could be anything could happen. And then it's not worth it.
No, absolutely.
Because then not only are you out of the fight, now you're doing what they're doing and you just became part of their army.
Yeah. Yeah, you became a better witness for them than you did for God.
Yes, you just switch sides.
Yeah.
Switch jerseys.
Yep.
I'm not about that. I'm not trying to step into all that. Now they know where I stand.
Yep.
It's like, guys, if you ever need truth, you need peace in your life, I would love to talk to you about Jesus. I'm not, they're like, no, man, no, I don't believe in all that.
Yeah.
There'll be a day when hopefully they'll be like, I remember him. I need to call him.
I need to call him.
This is awful. I'm sick of this.
Hey, Jared, I need your help.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then you're over there waiting.
Right.
Dude, come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah.
And then they, all right. And then you've got them. They're on the good side. There's another warrior on this side over here now.
Absolutely.
And there's another guy in the fight.
Yeah.
And then that's one less one going to hell. So that's just how I look at it.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to step into that arena. Like I'm not on your turf on your terms.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay over here. I'm on my side, on the actual side of truth. And when you're ready, I'd be more than happy, more than willing to share the truth with you.
Yeah.
But talking about that third section now, about how it afterwards. So we've talked about our early life and then the middle part,
Yep.
which is the long part.
Oh, the long part, yeah.
And now we're in these sweet days when we are on the other side of it, still learning, still growing.
Absolutely.
We haven't made it. We haven't arrived by any means.
No, not at all.
But
the road's still long.
For me, I'll give the short version of it for time's sake. So I surrendered the ministry about 4 years ago. I'm an associate pastor here at First Baptist Church in the Queen. But my main drive was the youth. Somebody asked me if I would sub a little for the junior high boys. There's like 5 of them in there, 5 to 7. And I did that for about 3 or 4 months. And then they asked if the girls could join. There was like 3 or 4 girls. So I had like a total of like 8 or 9. Which is great. I'm not knocking that at all. We had fantastic times, and they were all in junior high. Well, then the next year, in February of the next year, I surrendered the ministry, got a job, got hired on here. And 4 years later, in October, I'll have been with the youth. I've actually been here 4 years because in June of 2020 is when I started with the junior high boys. I didn't take the job till the next year. So it's been a little over 4 years I've been with them. And now on Wednesday nights, and numbers mean nothing. I don't care about numbers, but it does show – if you're faithful to God, He'll bring people to you to witness to them and share His word with them. But on Wednesday nights, and especially in the thick of the school year, it's around 50 to 60 high schoolers here. And now those kids I was first with are upperclassmen. Now most of them are seniors this year. So it's fantastic, like 20-something, 30-something of them together. And the rest are all junior high. But it's really been something to see how God's been working. I've went to Malawi, Africa a few times. Like you guys, if you listen to podcasts for the last 2 episodes, you'll know that we're trying to adopt a boy from Malawi. So that's just, the Jared of old. Yeah. That's the love of Jesus, the redemption. Like, I didn't give up on him, even though I ignored Jesus, he never gave up on me.
Right. You gave up on him, but he never gave up on you.
Yeah. It's the whole, I wanted bad stuff bad enough that he just turned me over to it. Yeah. And then I hit bottom. And when I was ready, like, God, I'm done. He's like, okay, I'm here. Let's go. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. Like, grab him the hand and pull me up out of the junk. And here we go. And sets me on my feet on solid ground. And I got joy in my heart. I can come to work in the morning. I haven't had headaches in, more years than I can count from waking up from a hangover. Right. It's beautiful. Now, do I wake up like smiling and rainbows every morning? No,
not at all.
But I do catch myself with so much more joy, man. I can it's nice coming to work. And I love what I do. I love getting to minister to youth, to young adults, the new ministry that we have, even adults in general, and going over to like New Orleans when we go on mission trips, or in Africa overseas. Just getting to do God's work, and it's endless. Like, there's endless opportunity to share the gospel. Right. So the future's bright. I love it. Like, starting this podcast so we can share that hope. So we can share the transformative change that only Jesus can bring, and like He's brought to your life, like He's brought to my life. Mm-hmm. And it's been great for my household. Since I've surrendered the ministry and just surrendered to God in general, not even just ministry, but God, what do you want from me? If it ain't ministry, I'll do whatever you want, like true surrender. Do you want me to move? Do you want me to sell everything? Are you about to bless me with $1 million so I can give it all away to something else? Right. Whatever it is, I'm in. I'm all in, like full tilt. And I would say what is it? Go bust or broke or go home, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, go home for broke.
Yeah, that's it. But I ain't worried about that because I know God's not going to do that. Because in the end, the true treasure is in heaven. Oh, but, absolutely, man, it's good. That's me. I got a big testimony with how I came into ministry, but we're at almost a 2-hour mark about how I came into ministry. But that's for another podcast. But I love life right now. But yeah, I love how Jesus. He never leaves. He never gives up. He never lets go.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I mean, that's pretty much kind of how I am for the last year, working with you and the kids. Mm-hmm. And then getting to do this podcast, which, to be honest, I was a little hesitant about at the beginning because I wasn't sure. One, if I knew enough of the Bible to be able to have a conversation intelligently about whatever topic it is, and to be able to hold my own in the conversation and not let it just be Jared talking for an hour and a half and I just provide a couple of words here and there. And so I was, again, old self-doubt, creeping in.
Yes.
But this has been able to allow me to talk more about my past and about my transgressions of where I am, or what happened. So that way, hopefully someone listening out there doesn't have to go through the same trials and tribulations that I went through. And so that's what I look forward to. And I really enjoy working with the kids and seeing them growing with each other, growing with the Lord, getting to see where they're, excited about where they're going to go. I'm excited for the school year.
Yeah.
I think the school year is going to be a good year.
It is.
I mean, it's going to be sad.
Fast.
It's going to be sad, and it's going to go by very quick. But I think where we are with what we're trying to do with the youth, where we are with this podcast and where we're trying to take it, I see a way of blending some of it together and it kind of just blowing up. Yeah. And I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too, man.
So,
and I like the fact that you're very transparent and open, because 99% of people are just like you and me. Like, it's just very average. I'm not some big theologian with 5 doctorates on my wall. That's not me.
Right.
I'm just blessed, saved by grace, and look forward to seeing what God has for the future.
Oh, absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that I know biblically or anything is just something that the Holy Spirit has brought to mind, and I just study and I dig into it.
Right.
And that's going to be the lesson for the youth or for the young adults that week. And I just pray that I retain it. And so over the last, handful of years, I've retained some of those lessons and I remember it. So when I'm in a conversation, that comes back to my mind. And I'm hoping by the time I hopefully reach 70 or 80, I got a lot of that knowledge up there, so I don't have to look it up as much. It's just boom, it's right there on cue. But man, I love it. And I know that a lot of people can be blessed by this if they listen to it and they don't think that it's complicated, that they have to know, that they have to have all their ducks in a row to get right with God. You don't have to do that.
And for me, it was twofold, kind of scary. One, it's easy for you and I just to sit here and talk right now because it's the same kind of conversations that we would have in your office or in the car ride or whatever. We're just doing it in a room that's being recorded
with big lights in our face.
Yeah, big lights. Hey, lights.
And a table, but yeah.
So that way people can be a part of our conversations.
Yeah.
And so with that comes a level of vulnerability that you have to be comfortable being vulnerable. Otherwise you're just going to be fake. And if you're fake, people are going to know it. They're going to see it. And they're like, I don't want to listen to that podcast because, that person is just fake. Like, he's not being,
sense it.
You can tell.
Yeah.
He's not being genuine about what he's talking about. He's just very, I got the right answers. This is what the Bible says. And it's not that way. Like, you got to be real about it. So being hesitant at first about being that vulnerable with people.
Yeah.
Cause you never know who's listening. And it's, at times it is a little weird listening to it with the family because you're like, I don't want, it's,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just a weird feeling. And so you got to be comfortable with the uncomfortableness of it.
Yeah.
And then the other cool thing about this podcast is people that I've always have loved them and I would do anything for them, but I knew that they were not living the best of lives.
Yeah.
Some of them reaching out like, oh, hey, like, you're in a podcast. What's it about? And being able to kind of talk to them about what the podcast is and sending them a couple of links and like, hey, man, just kind of check it out. Like, just watch it. Like, for them to get, they're not watching every week, but, just them listening or, trying to, hey, I'll watch an episode because you're on it. Like, I want to see what you're doing. Like, hopefully that's enough of the door being open that somebody else is able to grab them to bring them the rest of the way in.
It's that opportunity.
Yeah. So
that's kind of my mindset too. And you never know who's listening. And even if it's somebody we don't know and they're like, oh, that's me, man. Like, that's me. Like, that's where I'm at right now. I don't want to go to small groups. I don't want to do this because it's going to be weird, or I'm in this cycle that they were saying they were in, there is hope. Yeah, man, there's hope. Get out there. Go talk to a local pastor.
Yeah.
Preferably a trusted one.
Yeah.
I'm just, usually I look for somebody that's Protestant. I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there like First Baptist. I mean, Baptists, and I know some churches get a bad rap or whatever, but I know that what Baptists believe, what they stand for, what their doctrine is, what they believe about salvation. So it's kind of like I said in 29 Palms. Way out in California, there's Palms Baptist Church out there, and it's awesome church. Pastor David, great guy. So I'd encourage you, go out there and find somebody and just unload on them, because that's what pastors are there for. They love it,
right,
and can guide you into the truth.
Yeah.
Who Jesus is, what he did for us. And it's not going to be a picnic or anything like that, but you will find real joy and you will find reward when you do things for Jesus instead of for yourself.
Right.
But yeah, I'm good, man.
I'm good. We did a little long on this one, but we knew it was going to be a long one.
But I want to thank everybody for listening.
Yes.
For everybody that's made it this far, especially. And I get it. People watch it in chunks. I do that with my favorite podcast. There's guys that have 3-hour ones, and I'll listen like 15, 20 minutes at a time. And halfway through the week, I'm done. I'm like, all right, I made it through that one. Then I'll listen to the next one. So I appreciate it for joining us on the Vertical Podcast. And I hope that our testimonies about Jesus, how he transformed our lives, I hope that it resonates with you and that it brought you a sense of hope and encouragement. And to remember, no matter where you are in your journey, that there's always a path to Jesus by redemption. And I love that he's our Redeemer.
Absolutely.
Because there's nobody in this universe who could redeem one soul, much less the entire world.
Right.
How awesome is that? How powerful is he?
Yeah.
But if you found any value or any that part of the show that you really liked, I pray that you would share it with someone and that they could hear the message as well. And don't forget to subscribe and rate and review the podcast on your favorite platform, because it really helps us to reach more people with the stories of faith and transformation. And as we close, I want to leave you with this thought. And I wrote it down on here so I wouldn't forget it. No matter how dark your circumstances may seem, there's always light ahead.
Ooh.
Keep seeking, keep believing, and remember that you're never alone. Now.
Amen.
I love you guys. Until next time, let's be doers of the word and not hearers only. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.